So, what's the optimal amount of pages that a comic book should have? And why do 22 pages matter so much more than 20 pages? We're going to get into that. Hey there, this is Perch, just driving on another rainy day. And this question has come up a few times. Some people have asked me, some creators, I think Jimmy Palmetti, I butcher I love it when I butcher the last names. Well, I don't love it. I like to say them properly, but my mouth just wants to say certain things with people's names and they're wrong. And then people will let me know. And I appreciate that. It's not annoying. I do appreciate you letting me know. I also know I'm just dumb in how I say things. That's what's going on there. Anyway, there's a big truck in front of me, by the way, with the back that says "Follow me for a great place to eat," and it's a really dodgy looking truck, and this feels like a trap. I'm just saying, just putting that out there. Anyway, a couple of creators, Jimmy's one, have said that 22 pages is just much better than 20 pages. And some people have been confused by this. What the two extra pages mean, and particularly from an artist perspective, why do you care? Is it financial? Is that extra 2 pages like an extra $1,000 or something? And the answer is, well, sure, there is some financial aspect to it, but that's generally not why creators are saying they like 22 pages over 20. And the reasoning, the rationale here is as I had it explained to me. So, by the way, what I'm about to say, you may talk to other creators who say this is absolute crap, or maybe I don't have it quite right, or the details are off. I think everybody has their own view on this. But basically, if you think about kind of what you can draw in a month, what you can actually render and create, and there was this old, you could do a page a day, and that's what some creators could do. That's what they said they would do. Some would be 2 page a day, 3 page a day. People like Mark Bagley, doing like 50 pages a day. I think that was his output. Bit of a, yeah, sure. Um, well, why not? Let's go with that fact. It's a flash fact. Anyway, the idea is that the 22 pages breaks up nicely in a month, and then you have an additional, say, 8 days, which correspond roughly to weekends, and you've got kind of a page a day, and you've got 22 working days, and that all kind of makes sense. But the other part is that a lot of artists who have been drawing comics for a long time got used to the 22 page kind of model. And so, in terms of both storytelling as a creator and as a writer and as an artist, once you've done, say, even I've heard that even after you've done 6 issues in that format, in a 22 page kind of format, that your brain just kind of paces itself to work in that style. And if you think about 22 pages and you carve up, one splash page, maybe a second if you're doing a big shocking thing, and then you've got some action, you got some drama, you got some exposition, you have some teasing for future issues, you got kind of all these little elements, and they play out well in 22 pages. And if you suddenly crop that off 2 pages, it doesn't sound like much, but the general pacing of your story tends to go. And then you also start kind of lumping more action into more pages. So I've heard this complaint kind of the most from creators. This is the one I hear most commonly, is that when comics go from 22 pages to 20 pages, then suddenly they're asked to draw more panels, more stuff in each page, which doesn't completely make sense. But you're basically saying we want you to cram more into one page. We want you to convey more. And I've seen scripts. I saw a script from a writer that had things like, in this panel, we want to convey that the hero is running down the street and noticing that there's a bystander in the way of danger and rushing to save them while dodging the villain attacks. It's like, all right, how do you render that the hero is paying attention to the villain and simultaneously noticing a bystander while running and dodging? And it gets to be, the writing I have heard gets sloppier and a bit more compressed with every page that you subtract. So that's why you see a lot of people say, hey, there's a major kind of breathing room difference, major benefit to being at 22 pages over 20. Now, you might ask the question, well, what if it was 24 pages? I suspect you would hear us complaining again, but for very different reasons. Suddenly, kind of once again, writers would have to adapt what they're doing. I think artists would be asked to do maybe more splash pages in the interim as the stories become more decompressed, and it would be a change. Also, I think that that does start to people again have said this. I've heard people swear by this, and people say this is not a factor. There's some mental thing about a page a day in a month is what you can output, and if you can output 2 pages a day, then you're able to do 2 comics, and that's kind of how that would work. And I've heard that over and over and over from many different creators that they think that way. And then I've gone to other creators saying that nonsense, nobody works that way. Some pages you could do in an hour, some pages you takes 2 to 3 days to render. It all kind of depends. So there you have it. There's the basic, quick level answer to a simple little question. What's the deal with 22 pages over 20, and why do you see this come up on social media? So I hope that answered things for you. I hope that makes some sense. If you have any other questions on this, please respond in the comments below. And hey, why not subscribe? Why not click that subscribe button, share with a friend, let them know, post the link to this video, all the rest, and then why not? Spread the information, spread the love. You can find me on Twitter at Comic Perch, but most importantly, always most importantly, thank you for listening.